my name is Jade, and welcome to Stories and Scribes. Stories and Scribes is a platform where we share kingdom principles and values through stories, through Christian fiction books. So today we're going to look at this book, Falling for You by Becky Wade. And I love this, and this is the first book that we're discussing about, and it's so interesting. Number one, I'm a sucker for romance, so Christian fiction romance is one of the books I really, really love. So I'll read the synopsis from the back of the book and we'll get to discussing. So, famously beautiful model Willow Bradford is reveling in peace and quiet of her hometown right until the moment she came face to face with her ex-boyfriend Corbin Stewart. Former NFL quarterback Corbin is forceful, charming, and accustomed to getting what he wants, except where Willow is concerned. He's never been able to forget her, but Willow makes it crystal clear she's unwilling to risk her heart again. Ooh, so that means there was a past love story there. When a decade-old mystery in Corbin's family brings them together, will the heartbreak in their past and the complication in their present keep them from falling for one another all over again? What a wonderful question. Okay, so I totally enjoyed reading this book. This book was published by Bethany House and is a 300-page book. From the beginning of the book to the end of the book, I totally loved it. I was engrossed in it. It was realistic. And when you've had heartbreak before and you meet your ex-boyfriend or ex-fiance, you know how it is. First, there will be that resistance, defense, wall, and all of that. And it was all of it and much, much, much more. So Willow is a model, and herself and Corbin had dated in the past. And Willow was a Christian from the beginning. And yes, while she had her personal issues, she had some values that she really, really wanted to uphold, by until she met Corbin. And because they were totally in love, she did some things that she shouldn't have done, like the issue of premarital affairs or premarital sex and all. And she thought she was pregnant. So one day she called Corbin and told him that she was late. And when someone says they're late, it means that pregnancy is looming around somewhere. But at the end of the day, it wasn't so that she was pregnant, but Corbin didn't take the news well and he didn't react positive to it. And so they broke up. And as a quarterback in America, obviously, that there are people all around him vying for his attention, groupies, girls, and all of that. And when you are famous like that, there are certain things to say on camera that you may not mean, but the other person may not even understand what you are trying to say. So that was the case for Willow and Corbin, because she just told him that she thought she was pregnant. He was going for an interview, and in the interview, he totally denied that he had a girlfriend, and she thought that he was her all in all and felt bad, and they called and they broke up. So that's the past. Fast forward to the future. So she was tired of her work, so she needed to take leave, and she helped her mom in her house, a boarding house where they invite people, where people come to stay for a period of time, and she was managing the place, and she was peacefully quiet in that time. Corbin, who had an injury as a quarterback, now had to go through therapy, and physiotherapy and all of that, and happened to stay in the same town that Willow was in, which obviously was their hometown. So Corbin had a cousin called Charlotte, and Charlotte had this mystery of our grand aunt that was missing, and the circumstances around it was not clear. So she found that secret in her family, and she was only willing to share with Willow. And that to go to Willow, Charlotte had to go through Corbin. Corbin had to call Willow, and you just know how that drama was going to be. The long story short, they met, they started investigating the decade-old mystery. And along the line, they began to find out that the things they taught in the past, Willow had her own story, Corbin had her own story, and they had never talked about it to iron out the issues. But one of the things that struck me was Willow's background. So she had a background where her mom had an affair with her dad, and abandoned her because her mom wanted to travel all over the world and didn't want the burden of a child. So she left her with her dad. So Willow had always been the child that wanted to please everybody. Willow had always been the child that wanted to be the good girl all the time. She never broke a rule. She was a straight A student, didn't want attention and just wanted to be at the background being good. And it struck me that what affected that mindset for her was the fact that she felt unwanted and abandoned as a child and never wanted to have that feeling anymore. So when she interacts with you, she always wanted to be good, so you don't have a reason to reject her or lose her. And I thank God that over the course of her journey in the book, she had to come to the realization that she was loved. When she looked at her family, her sisters, her friends, everyone around her that truly, truly loved her, they loved her in spite of who she was, which was amazing to see. So going to Corbin and Willow, I also discovered that when you don't iron out issues and you have unforgiveness for someone, it doesn't make sense because the story is not complete. So Willow had her version, Corbin had his version, and until they talked and introduced their backgrounds, where they were coming from, and the perspective at which they looked at the issue, the story was never complete for them to come to the point where I can apologize or you can apologize and iron out the issue and start on a clean slate. And I was happy that Corbin, in the book, insisted that happened for him to move forward with his intentions of winning her. And Corbin is a good person to win someone back. Yeah, he knew the right things, the right moves. Yeah, some were a bit, but he did win her back. Another thing I loved about the story is, for couples or for people in relationships, something should bring you together. A vision, a project, a goal, because it helps bring the best out of you into a situation to make it work. And that was something I totally enjoyed in this book. So I would encourage you to buy it. This book is a 2018 book, so it came out last year. And Becky Wade has 3 books in this series. These are the Bradford Sisters romance series. I encourage you to get it. This book was gotten from Sefer Books. I'll put the details below on how to get this book from Sefer Books. And yeah, enjoy the story. So for me, forgiveness was a very key thing in this book. And also our backgrounds, our conditioning, as it were. What conditions us to act the way we act, to behave the way we behave, to think the way we think, to interact the way we interact is also very critical. So we must attack our conditioning. We must attack the way we relate to people, and on the basis of that, do not make anything that has happened to you in the past negative affect your outlook to life, because if it does, it distorts and it allows you to see things through a stained glass, which isn't clear. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this brief review. Get the book, read the book, and share with me what you thought about the book. Thank you very much, and look forward to our next book on Stories and Scribes. Bye.